Big warm welcome, everyone. Thanks very much for joining us and welcome to the UTR Pro Match Series presented by Tennis Channel Virtual Press Conference. Now, I'm Prakash Amritraj and I'll be moderating the conference. This is a new normal for us, so we hope the format works well. We'll start with a brief overview of the UTR Pro Match Series and UTR in general, and then I'll open up the floor to questions. So there's a little Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. You'll be able to submit all your questions through there. I'll read them out loud to the panelists, but just don't forget, include your name and outlet. You can submit these questions at any time throughout the conference. Now, joining me here as well is Stephen Amritraj, the UTR Pro Match Series Tournament Director and Chief Tennis Officer of Universal Tennis. And of course, all of our electrifying competitors who certainly need no introduction. But just to give you full details on them, we have Mr. The Beast, as I like to call him, Reilly Opelka, standing at a height that I can barely even reach with a ladder. He's the third-ranked American, ATP number 39, and a very impressive 15.51 UTR. We also have Mr. Nice Guy, Hubert Hurkacz, 2019 Winston-Salem Open champion, ATP ranking of 29, and a very impressive 15.35 UTR. And then, of course, we have the man, TP, who, as far as I'm concerned, is possibly the best smack talker in this group. Now, I've been with him, and he said that even though he lives with Opelka, they've had a lot of competition in quarantine games, video games, what have you, but he said he is the best looking one in the house, and he is going to take out Opelka this weekend. So we have TP with us as well, and you may have heard that Tennis Sangren had to drop out due to a knee injury. Very sad. We certainly wish him the absolute best, but we're very excited that the next gen semi-finalist from Milan last year, who is very, very exciting to watch, Miomir Kecmanović, has joined us and stepped up to the challenge. ATP ranking of 47 and a UTR of 15.38. Now, the UTR Pro Match Series presented by Tennis Channel will be the first internationally televised top-tier tennis event since the global health crisis. The series showcases a vision for the new normal in tennis and offers an example of how the game can be played safely and locally and have global impact when the results count for the universal tennis rating. Now, to give you an idea of how things are going to work, there will be no spectators, no handshaking, no ball kids, and no line judges. One chair umpire will oversee the match, and the court and facility will be professionally disinfected before and after play. Each player will be provided with their own set of marked balls for use during the match. Players will provide their own drinks and towels, and each player will have their own separate area off the court. Now, all of our competitors will play Friday and Saturday in a round-robin, best-of-3, fast 4 sets format. On Sunday, the top 2 finishers will play 2 full sets with a 10-point tiebreaker acting as the deciding third set. This will be the format for the finals, as well as for the bottom 2 finishers who will battle for a third, fourth playoff place. Now, the event kicks off this Friday, May 8th at 12 noon Eastern. This will be broadcast live on Tennis Channel and their network partners, plus the Chicago Cubs Marquee Network, the Yankees Yes Network, and West Palm Beach CW34, and internationally via Tennis Channel Deutschland and live streamed on tennis.com, where local TV broadcast is unavailable. Now, I'd just like to bring in Stephen Amritraj, the tournament director of this groundbreaking event. Stephen, this is tremendously exciting. I know all of us cannot wait for the first ball to be struck, but just wanted to ask you a couple of questions on the event and UTR in general. Can you just give us a quick overview of UTR and the rating?
Yeah, thanks, Prakash, and thanks to all the guys who are here today, and for everyone in the press for coming out. UTR is the Universal Tennis Rating powered by Oracle. And over the last 10 years, UTR has been around to create the most accurate tennis rating in the world for all players, all levels, everywhere. Everyone is on the same rating scale, regardless of age, gender, or geography. And as you can see in the graphic here, the rating is based off of 2 things: who you played and what was the score over your last 30 matches. So for these guys and other pros, it would be good to think of it more along the line of form or basically a rating for whatever surface they're going to play on, but for the 1.7 million other people that have had a rating within UTR, it's the best indication of their level anywhere in the world. And our hope is that that can increase local opportunities to create more matches that can have global impact. Every player in the world can have a free rating at myutr.com.
Stephen, this is sort of a groundbreaking event, especially at such a challenging time. Why are you guys running this event?
Yeah, well, I mean, great question, P. You know, two real things stuck out with the event and its creation and what we thought about really doing here. First, we wanted to lead the world with Tennis Channel and our partners in bringing back tennis at all levels. You know, I think that the world needs sport right now. It needs live sport. It's been such a unifier throughout the years, and I think that if we can together bring back sports in a safe and a healthy way, it's going to be something that can uplift so many people during this difficult time. Secondly, we're introducing UTR Match Play as a way to safely return back to the sport. And what is that? Basically, in our platform, as we just went through, UTR has the ability to take a head-to-head result with just two people and quantify it on a global scale. Where that's different than most other tennis and competitive tennis is the fact that you don't need 16, 32, 64 people coming together for a full-size draw where someone can win and get points per round each match. All you need is two people on a court competing and posting that score to the world's largest algorithm. And so we're calling that our play locally, count globally campaign. We're integrating that into our product, into our platform, where basically players can create a match, play the match, and then post a score across the world at any level. And it's really exciting, and we feel like that's going to be a spark plug to bring tennis back in a safe and healthy manner that this is going to be the showcase for.
Well, it's a tremendous effort putting it all together, and I'm so excited you have these four that are going to be battling it out on Friday. I'd like to turn a little bit of the attention now to the men who we are all going to have our eyeballs on. Gents, first of all, let me start with Mr. Nice Guy, as I like to call him. Hubie, how do you feel playing in this event? Why did you decide to partake in it?
I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for each one of us to try, like, after the break, what our levels at, and obviously being able to compete. Like, we're missing it a lot. We're not able to travel around the world to play tournaments, and I mean, this gives us the opportunity to play against each other and also show the spectators some live matches, and hopefully they'll have fun watching them. Have you been staying in shape? Have you been working out a little bit, or have you been sitting on the couch watching Netflix? No, I think I'm in pretty good shape. I've been working out a lot, so good. Yeah, we'll see. Miomir, last time I saw you, I believe, was in Milan last year, where you had the whole crowd on their feet with the style you brought. How excited are you to be able to compete this weekend?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be fun, you know, to get back and play some matches, you know, especially since, you know, the last few months it was pretty boring, you know, just practicing every day. So I'm really excited to come back.
Have you been staying in shape as well? Have you managed to hit some tennis balls, or has it been mostly physical stuff?
Yeah, I've been practicing every day. You know, I could do that here normally, and you know, it was that's why I didn't go back home, because you know, back home everything's on lockdown, and this was, you know, a good chance to, you know, keep working on some stuff.
Well, can't wait to see you on Friday. Tommy, Reilly, either of you can jump in for this. Now, you guys are both in the same house in different rooms right now, coming into this press conference. So you guys know each other very well. Tell us about this dynamic. Are you guys going for blood here?
Well, I mean, I think we're definitely excited to hit with other people too. I mean, we're pumped to play against each other and to compete again. Live sports on television is also huge for us, but yeah, definitely pumped to play one of the other two guys and see a different serve.
Reilly, talk about just this event in general. Obviously, you've been able to, you know, battle with Tommy and practice and keep your game sharp. But what was the main motivator for you, Reilly, to be able to play this event?
I mean, a few things. One, it's right in my backyard, which is great. You know, driving 20 minutes up the road to compete is something that doesn't happen often, you know, even, you know, during the normal season. So that's one positive. And then, you know, also I think just from like Hubie said, from a spectator standpoint, to give some people some live tennis, some live sport, you know, I think that's the most important part. That's what we're all kind of missing. I've been, you know, real thankful for the Last Dance every Sunday, but other than that,
Absolutely.
you know, I haven't seen much any, you know, live sport. There's actually some like crazy random live sports that they're like showing that, I mean, I don't know if they're considered sports, but this will be like, you know, one of the first ones.
You mentioned you've been watching The Last Dance. You know, Jordan got a little, you know, fierce with some of his teammates, popped Steve Kerr in the face. You and Tommy haven't had any of those experiences, have you? Living in close quarters with each other?
That only happens in the basketball court usually.
Yeah, only in basketball.
Okay, very good. Now listen, I'm going to open this up to the media. I know we have a few questions popping in there. For everyone else who's watching, just a reminder, you can click on the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, send in your questions. Just please include your name and outlet. So we have a few in here. Andy Kent of the Palm Beach Post, and this question is for Reilly Opelka. First off, being from Delray Beach, you must be so pleased to have this first live event taking place so close to home. So I was wondering, how have you been staying in shape during this pandemic, and how sharp do you think your game will be this weekend?
I've been staying in shape mainly the last couple weeks. A lot more things kind of opened up in this area. You know, our county's opened up some more of the tennis courts. I've been playing some basketball with Tommy the last couple weeks, and I've been staying active. You know, I think I'll be pretty sharp. I haven't played a match in a while, so obviously there'll be some rust, just like everyone else. But you know, from a physical standpoint, I'm ready to go.
All right, this is coming in from an anonymous attendee, but I'd love the answer for this from each of the players. It's an interesting question. Can you talk a little bit about how much you've been hitting versus taking time off, letting the body rest, and doing gym fitness work while you've been quarantined? Hubie, why don't we start with you?
I mean, the first week I was I got back from India, so we're still thinking that we're gonna prepare for Miami Open. But when it got cancelled, I did like 2.5 weeks really hard work and doing a lot of fitness, and then I moved on, kind of like try to work on some specifics in tennis, and the last weeks I was doing that.
Miomir, how has the ratio been for you, hitting versus fitness? I know you said you've been hitting every day, so has it really just been full training for you?
Well, after Nivelles got canceled, I took almost 2 weeks off, and then after that I started to, you know, not like full on training, but, you know, just to stay in shape, you know, every day a little bit. Then I do 2 weeks, then I have a week off, and, you know, just to keep the body going.
Gents, roommates, Tommy, Reilly, how's it been for you guys?
I mean, right when Indian Wells got canceled, I kind of took some time off, took like two weeks or so, and then came back. Reilly was practicing a little bit, started hitting with him every other day to start, and with not much fitness at all. And then about like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I started working out more and trying to get more in shape.
Very good. Now, there's a question coming in. This is Tommy again for you, from Bill Simmons, Inside Tennis. Bill, how you doing? Great to see you here. Tommy, what is the one thing you would say it's like to return the big guy serve?
I don't know, man. It's not fun. I don't know. I mean, it's annoying because second serves aren't any easier, you know? I mean, the second serves jump crazy high, so it's not like he misses his first serve and you're like pumped.
All right, well, I'm sure it's not an easy task, but we'll get to see how all of you guys do against it this weekend. Pete Bodo from ESPN. Pete, how are you? Great to see you on here. Love to get your comment on the relief package that's been created for the lower ranked players. Reilly, why don't we start with you? Just your general thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea, a great concept, especially coming initiated from Novak, Rafa, and Roger. I definitely don't think it should be mandatory for the top 100 players to have to do it, but I also think it shows a lot of the problems that we currently have in our sport. There's not many other sports where other players are paying for other players. So, I think in this time off, I think the ATP can do a lot of stuff to restructure and, hopefully moving forward that there aren't situations where there are players struggling as much as they are. But I definitely think there should be I don't think players should just be gifted 10 grand for nothing. I think there should be a selection process. I think there should be an application process, and every case should be looked at differently. But yeah, I'm all for it.
Gents, just in general, everyone seems to be on board with the thought process.
Yeah.
Well, listen, there's so many that play around the world. If there's any kind of help that can be given to continue growing our sport, keeping our sport alive, then I know we're all for it. Okay, again, a couple of non-tennis questions coming in. Tommy, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but the question is, Tommy, did you give yourself a haircut, or did you get some help in the Opelka household? It looks a lot shorter than last time we saw you in Acapulco.
No, I definitely got my hair chopped off, but we had a lady come in and cut me and Reilly's hair, so she was
Okay. Well, just for the record, I think it looks great. I'm using all sorts of product to try to keep this down. Otherwise, I'm looking like Don King over here. It's not pretty. Hubie, this question is coming for you. What inspired the Tennis is Lava video, and how did you react when you saw Instagram featured it on their account?
Yeah, it was kind of a friend that I'm practicing with kind of like want to do this video. I'm like, no, I'm not really doing it. But then he set up like a track, so I went for it, and I was kind of surprised with the popularity of that video. That
Hubie, listen. If you want to do something on the side of tennis, you could become an Instagram star. Listen. I follow you, and I enjoy the content. Just for the record.
Happy that you enjoyed.
Miomir, why don't we give this one to you? A question coming in: are you keeping in touch with other athletes on the tour?
Yeah, I've been talking to a few guys, just checking in to see how everybody's doing. Is everybody safe? And, just all the guys from back home and, some of my friends on tour. So just, it's nice, to talk to somebody else, for a change.
Well, this is an interesting one that's come in. Gentlemen, I guess maybe I'll start with Reilly on this one. Has your diet changed at all since lockdown happened?
So I weighed in at a personal record-breaking 240 pounds about.
Oh, impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, the diet changed a few times. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wawa, but it's like I was having some 12 a.m., 12:30 a.m. runs in that Oreo milkshake, and that was that. And then once I saw the 240, I started to cut back on the milkshake and Lucky Charms, and I ran a 10K the other day, which is, me, that's crazy. That's like unheard of. And I've been training some more, so I'm back down to my playing weight around 228.
Wow, that's a nice little bulk and cut you threw in there during this long period.
Yeah, similar story.
I went up like almost 20.
He dropped in it. He hit 200, which for a guy that's 6'1" is not easy to do.
No, I was thick for real.
Thick for real. You know what? We're gonna hashtag that for any posts you do for Tommy Paul this weekend at the UTR Pro Match Series. Thick for real. And by the way, it's usually the freshman 15. We'll just call this the quarantine 20. Don't worry about it. You're good. Okay, so one more coming in. I'll give this to Miomir. Miomir, tell me, this tournament is going to look and feel so different. What do you expect going into the competition?
I'm just thinking, it's going to be a lot of fun just to, go out and, play an actual match, for the fans. And it's definitely going to be a nice change of pace. And, I'm really looking forward to it.
Reilly, how do you feel coming into this weekend? I know it's going to be a little bit different. You've been battling obviously with Tommy, but now you have a few other competitors, and this will be high-level competition. What do you expect?
Yeah, no, I'm excited for a change of pace. I'm excited to see a new format in tennis kind of played, and I expect some good tennis. I assume Hubie and Miomir have been training a lot, and Tommy and I have really picked it up the last couple of weeks. So, I think there's no excuse for our level not to be pretty high.
One more coming in for Reilly from Bill Simmons. Reilly, do you think the break will help the younger players more or the older players like Roger, Rafa, Nole?
It's interesting. I don't think it'll be easy to like categorize who it helps. But I do think, it'll definitely, if it's going to hurt anyone, it's probably Novak, or Rafa, depending on when we come back. The French Open would have been Rafa's again. Wimbledon, probably Novak. For those guys, I think it'll affect them a lot more. But it's really hard to say right now. It's hard to say when we're going to be back. As far as this goes, I don't actually see any near-term ATP events. I really don't. I mean, the numbers are still going up, of cases and deaths and whatnot. And who's to say that it's not going to keep going up, and come fall, it could get worse. So I don't really see a near end of this.
Gents, I'm going to go one by one here. This is a bit of an off tennis related question, but Hubie, we're going to start with you. What has been your favorite show to binge watch during these last 2 months?
Favorite show? I mean, I watched Money Heist.
Good choice.
I really enjoyed that one. So.
Okay, Money Heist for Hubie. Miomir?
I saw Love is Blind. That was a recommendation from Francis, so I had to check that out.
And, I see what you did there. I see what you did. You threw him under the bus in case someone wasn't.
And then Money Heist is probably the next one.
Okay. So we got a couple on Money Heist. Reilly?
Outer Banks was my favorite so far.
Yep.
And I've been watching Everybody Hates Chris again for like the 5th time.
Going back to the classics. I like it. Tommy, now you're in the same house. Are you guys watching the same stuff?
Outer Banks, I love that show. I don't know. I mix it up. We were watching a lot of 24, throwing it back to 24 as well. So we really have been throwing it back in this house.
I like it. Now, I'm a little late to the party, but, I finally got on the Homeland wagon at the behest of Steven, and,
Nice.
Can't watch. So for what it's worth, you got about 9 seasons there if you're looking for something good there. Andy Kent, the Palm Beach Post, coming in again. This is for any of the players. How different will it be to play in front of no fans? Mio, why don't you take this one?
I mean, it's gonna feel like practice, honestly, and I don't know. I think it'll be quiet. It's different when you don't play with any people, without your coach or anybody. So I think it will be really, really interesting to see how it affects you, or how it changes your perception on the match itself.
Tommy, last time I saw you, we were in Acapulco together, and you had some pretty incredible matches on that center court over there. The energy is just so electric. Is there something you're going to try to do to kind of replicate that within yourself to bring out the best in you?
No, you can't really replicate a big crowd. I mean, that's like energy you can't make up. So, I mean, I've played a lot of matches even last year in some early rounds and challengers, which probably had less people there than this event will. So I'll probably just try and play like that. I have some experience there, so I'm a little lucky.
Another one coming in from Pete Bodo, ESPN. There's more and more talk from people like Nadal and Craig Tiley about there being no more ATP or Grand Slam tennis this year. Are you guys equally pessimistic? Hubie, what do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm trying to be optimistic, and but I mean, it's tough. Like we'll see. Like stuff to know by now. Obviously, like hopefully in the near future, the virus will be gone and we'll be able to start opening the tour and events traveling.
Steven, I'm going to give you this next question. We're getting a question that says, what's the next event going to be for you guys after this event? Will this be a one-off, or are you guys looking at more competitions?
Yeah, thanks for that. Well, we have a women's event in a similar venue in West Palm Beach on May 22nd and 24th. It's also with Tennis Channel. We're excited to have 4 top female players: Alison Risk, Amanda Anisimova, Danielle Collins, and Ayla Tomljanovic. It's the same format. You know, we're again, match play competition where the head-to-head results going to go into UTR. We're excited. It's a return to competition again, and you know, it's going to be great to let the ladies shine.
All right, this is an interesting one from Bill Simmons again. I'm going to go one by one. Tommy, I'm going to start with you. This is a little fill in the blank that Bill Simmons is sending in. The name and date of the first Grand Slam tournament won by a next-genner will be?
By a next-genner?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just because Kecmanović is here, I'm gonna say him. Probably next year.
I like it. Putting a lot of pressure on Mio. All right, Reilly, up to you. Now, Reilly, listen, you want to just step up and say, listen, it's me. It's the big dog coming in next year. You can say that. But what's your fill in the blank? The name and date of the first Grand Slam tournament won by a next-genner will be?
I'm going to go with Alex de Minaur. That'll probably happen the next Australian Open or U.S. Open that's played.
Thought out answer. Okay. Mio, what are you going with?
I'm taking Stefanos probably. Maybe,
okay.
I don't know, maybe next year or the year after.
Okay. Okay. Stefanos. And Hubie, what do you think?
I'll go with Reilly, the next U.S. Open.
I like it. Okay. So we could
no
have a couple.
Pressure, Reilly.
We could have some future Grand Slam champions here in this group. Steven, I'm going to fire this next one at you. Coming in, we're asking, what exactly are the live broadcast times through the weekend?
Yeah, so the live broadcast times are going to be 12 o'clock Eastern on Friday. There's going to be, the first match is going to be Hubie against Tommy Paul. There's actually going to be a 15 to 20 minute cleaning break as part of our health and safety protocols in between each of the matches. We have a specific professional cleaning crew that's going to basically do the entire court, all the fences, all the rest areas. We're really taking this as the highest priority, and we're going to give the cleaning staff the time that they need to really wash down the court and disinfect it. After that, there'll be the next match, and obviously that procedure will continue in between the second and third match. On Saturday, it's the same schedule. It starts again at 12 p.m. Eastern. And then on Sunday, it'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern for the championship rounds.
So we're nearing the end of our press conference here. So I think we have time for just a couple more questions. Steven, we'd just like to ask you, this is such a tremendous initiative. Can you just talk about some of the challenges in putting it together? Because you're obviously having to look at challenges that didn't exist before. So from the disinfecting to so forth, what's been the toughest thing that you guys had to look at?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think this really outlining a health and safety protocol that everyone is gonna be really safe with, and starts with staff and players, staff, officials, everyone. We don't really have very many people on site that look and feel completely different than any other tournament. We're in a unique time with unique challenges, and we're doing everything that we can to proceed with accepted precautions to make sure that this is a great event, but that everyone's safe as well.
All right, and now last for the players, I'm just going to put everyone on the spot. I don't care. Tommy, who is taking the title this weekend?
Hubie.
Interesting. Okay, going with the big guy. Reilly, what do you say?
I'm going to have to go with Hubie.
Okay. Mio, what do you say?
I'm just going to say Reilly just to mix it up.
All right, we're sitting at 2-1 here. Hubie, what do you say? It's okay if you say yourself. What do you say?
Come on, Hubie.
I mean, I'll go with Reilly because I know he doesn't like pressure. So.
All right. So the players are sitting at 2-2. We're gonna have to see who comes out on top. It could be, one of the guys who wasn't called, Tommy, Mio. But regardless, I think it's gonna be a fantastic weekend. Can't wait to see all of you guys, the best athletes in the world, compete at the absolute highest level. Everyone that's joined us today on this virtual press conference, thanks for being game for this new experience and joining us. I know you guys will have a great time watching this weekend. We'll be following up with a recording of this press conference. And again, just on behalf of UTR Tennis Channel, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you from West Palm Beach. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks.